The thing that most upset me was the sort of desire to fly to New York and convince Bob Weinstein to cast his entire family, or even spend the time shooting a scene of Feast with his entire family in it, when there's a million other things that need to be figured out.
We just sat in a guy's room, an office. I'm trying to take $1 million because I genuinely believe
tell me about
we
it.
are putting everybody together who's going to make this movie successful, right? The director falling apart is not a good use of money, right? So my point is...
But we can't change that.
Yes,
That's why
I want to... You know all of the things that are being that are trying to be decided and trying to be done, and the things that are priorities to make this movie good, right? And you choose to spend your time trying to get his relatives into the movie.
I'm certainly driving the worried camp at the moment.
Yes, I will say that I have a healthy skepticism about this guy. And when I hear a guy who I've worked this hard, right, and particularly this year 3, I have busted my ass to make sure this thing still exists. And when I hear that he's going to take that opportunity and go shoot his family in a scene from this movie Feast and fly to New York and try to convince Bob to cast his family, it personally bothers me. John, to get the out, you're fired.
Next week on Project Greenlight.
John, you and I need to go somewhere and talk right now.
Do you want to sit down in here?
No, let's go. We can go in your office or go for a walk.
And Chris came in and said, maybe we had to take a walk or something and have a little talk. So what's going on?
The thing that scared me the most, John, was the fly to New York and talk to Bob.
Oh, you had to take all that with a grain of salt.
And I don't know you that well to be able to take things with a grain of salt. You are putting the desire to bring your people above. Wait, let me finish.
I think don't even talk about firing me.
Bravo's taking you to the dog show, where competition can become obsession.
That judge is nothing short of a damn fool.
Our dog has more expensive clothes than most people we know.
These people are a breed of their own. Show Dog Moms and Dads premieres tonight at 10, 9 Central, only on Bravo. Watch what happens.
Project Greenlight is an internet contest.
We pick a script, we pick a director, we let somebody get a chance to make their movie.
This time we want to make a horror movie.
Feast is a very scary movie.
It's Evil Dead meets Diner.
This year we have a fantastic director, John Gulager. It's been over 35 years getting here. Hopefully he's going to pay off. Now it's up to Marcus, Patrick, and John to make a terrific movie.
When I heard that John was deciding to fly to New York to pitch his whole family to star in the movie, it really just sort of encapsulated all of my fears from when John won the contest. I just wanted to fire him. I just didn't want to spend any time trying to figure out why he had no common sense. I just wanted to fire him and get a director who wasn't gonna be insane. John, you and I need to talk right now. How are you, sir? Nervous? Panic?
Chris came in and said, we had to take a walk or something and have a little talk. So what's going on?
I don't know, you tell me. I mean, here, let me tell you, I'll just tell you what happened so you hear it at least from the horse's mouth. The thing that scared me the most, John, was the fly to New York and talk to Bob. Then they spend a whole weekend shooting a scene with your family.
I see it as a screen test. You know, Coppola did that for Brando. Al Pacino, in La Dolce Vita, De Laurentiis wanted Paul Newman as the lead.
Do you understand that Al Pacino and Paul Newman are two guys that you could market the movie around?
Yeah.
You need to start thinking through how these things come across. I've taken a lot of personal sacrifice into trying to get the most possible people to come see this movie. You are putting the desire to bring your people above. Wait, let me finish. I think you got hired to do a job, and it's a lot of pressure. I guarantee you that when you get hired to go shoot a wedding video, you don't call them up and say, hey, by the way, could my brother be the groom? Right? You don't call them up and say, hey, could my girlfriend be the bride? If I really wanted to fire you, I would have gotten you fired.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to hear the F word. I don't want to hear the F word again.
I know I come across as a hard ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. I care so much, but it's trying to do its best for the project. I will give you my word, though. I will not use that word again. You won't hear it again.
Okay.
I just want him to understand how serious these things are. Where he should be really thinking is looking at actors that mean something and trying to get the most people possible to see this movie. And unfortunately, that's probably not going to be his friends. I also want this sort of ability to sell this movie and get people to come see it, to at least be a factor in your mind. All right, well, listen, I'll be here if you need it, and I'll every now and then probably be a reality check. Yeah, and look, you have the right to be. I was pretty angry, too. I'm sure there are moments he sits in his office and he's petrified because he's the director. A lot of ways of dealing with that is hiring your people, having people who you know love you no matter what. But I think it has to be a balance to also wanting to get the movie seen by people. I'm so glad we talked about it.
I mean, I didn't really think he was going to fire me. On the other hand, there is still that little, nugget of anxiety, and at least for now, it's lifted.
All right, well, call me if you need anything else.
Marcus, Patrick, and I are going over to Light Planet for some sort of meeting.
Yeah, I actually kind of wondered if anybody'd be worried about me getting everywhere in this car, so... Where Light Planet is?
John, we were very worried about you never showing up to set. This is to help you guys during the production of the movie.
Are you kidding me? Holy cow!
Two of these are the Civic Hybrid, so they get like 50 miles to the gallon, unlike your car, which
which gets about 2.
Yeah. There you go.
This is a fantastic surprise.
Dude, you can't tell when the car is on. It's so quiet.
We're 6 weeks away from shooting Feast. We're resolving the budget issue. We got our crew working, sets being built. The big issue now is cast. Usually the way it works with a casting director is she finds the actors, brings them in, gets them on tape, and then in collaboration with the director and the producers, helps figure out which ones to submit to the studio.
Should you read the script?
But yeah, I did read the script.
You're still here?
I read the script. Yeah, well, I actually did a horror movie along. What? I read it, but I'll be honest with you. I read it on an Ambien.
Casting's going much smoother. I think John's getting the hang of sessions, talking to actors. I think he's understanding that it's a business besides creative.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey, John Bulger. Hey.
Meet you.
Yeah. My plan to just come in with a better attitude, period. So I guess I did. As far as keeping it up, I think I am.
Hey, man. Thank you very much.
Came in.
You done? Peace, back.
Hey, I'm You're in charge. I have to...
You are the director. I am not.
I am the director.
You're in charge.
I am in charge, but
Is that the butt of your ass to get this job?
2 roles to me that were really important for casting were heroine and hero.
just hero's gonna have to be a favor. It just is.
Finding a hero for this movie is extremely important. I mean, his name is Hero. He is the hero of the movie, and it's got to be someone who is sort of larger than life, someone who's a bigger name in the business. So casting this role is of the utmost importance.
The thing too about hero is you can't, and you know this, it's like you can't go out to the hero right now because until your cast is together and they
you don't know who's bigger than who else.
Yeah, and you don't know really what's attractive to a certain level actor yet.
For hero, we'd like to try to get a name actor. It's definitely a long shot, but we're going to see if we can reach Sean Penn, Matthew McConaughey, and possibly our own dear Ben Affleck.
In terms of heroine, I think this is somebody who has to be sort of tough and sexy and vulnerable and smart and crafty all at the same time. And, you really have to find someone who embodies all of that.
There was always a question mark regarding Navi for the role as heroine from the producers and director. And Navi's coming back in and I'm going to work with her.
Okay.
So, again, be open-minded.
I will.
The first session, she didn't have a great day.
We're surrounded with lights by something you've never seen before, okay? Some kind of animals, real fast predators.
Yes, I kept her in the mix. They wanted to clean the slate, and I cleaned this slate except for her. Sometimes people felt like they aren't given the direction that they need.
Okay.
So feel free, especially with me in the room, to speak up and, say, I want to do it again, I could do it differently, more, less, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Hey, are you still here? You guys hanging out? I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, this is gonna work out. This is fine. You know, it was probably just that first audition. Action.
You can risk your life, but not mine. Do you understand me? Do you understand me?
Yes. Yes.
Now pull that tough boy shit again, and I'll slice you from your neck to your nuts.
Cut. Great. When she came in and actually did the audition, it was just the same thing all over again.
We're surrounded by something the likes of which we've never seen before. Some kind of animals, real fast, volatile predators. One of them went through 3 of your patrons like they were bubble wrap. We're surrounded by the likes of something which you've never seen before, okay? Some kind of animal, real fast, volatile predators. One of them just went through 3 of your patrons like they were bubble wrap.
Nope. Well,
Bye.
Thank you. Yes, we must have sushi sometime.
What?
Well, I don't know. You know, I just wasn't really sold on the Navi thing.
I go on record saying I disagree. But
I know you do.
It's absolutely your movie. I have a different view of heroin.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I could see her doing it. So then, no.
I would hire Navi for lots of stuff, but not for heroin. I don't know how to explain it, except she just didn't come across to me as what I'm looking for in that part. And maybe I can't even explain what I'm looking for in that part. It's just, I just wasn't feeling it.
In terms of Navi as heroin, it is a complete 180 from what John was thinking. But I was really impressed with her audition. I've known her for a long time personally. Hi, it's Michelle Gertz for her.
Oh, hi, how are you?
So I FedExed the tape to Katrina because I knew that Katrina was going to be sitting down with Andrew that morning, and Andrew was going in with Bob. All right, so you'll get it in the morning and you'll call me?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Michelle.
Okay, thanks, Katrina. Okay, bye.
Hello?
Hello, Patrick.
Yeah.
Mike Leahy.
Nice. What's up?
Not much. Checking in with you.
Okay.
We miss you. We haven't seen you in a couple days.
Well, busy. Just, making it happen, living the dream.
It looks like Dimension's going to exercise their option with us to write the new Highlander.
Wow.
You've kind of got a narrow window of opportunity where you are within the radar of people's attention. So Pat and I, in the past month or so, have been very fortunate to be going around town and trying to get on some other projects.
Well, we're hoping that, that'll get wrapped up fairly soon and then we can, celebrate properly, but we thought the news was good enough at this stage to share.
In the meantime, would you like to talk about these additional pages? But I'm just wondering out loud one other additional thing. Coach, should we lose the Greek references?
And, I was thinking, for little changes like that,
have us do them?
Yeah,
Are you telling me you can't be bothered now already in your career? It's been 20 minutes and you can't be bothered? It's great that Patrick and Marcus are getting more opportunities. That's what Greenlight's all about. The fact that we're still in prep working on the script and they're off doing another film does concern me. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We're still waiting to find out if Maloof Motion Pictures is going to come up with the extra money that we need for this 5th week of shooting. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys.
How are ya?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Well, I was calling hopefully with what's good news. The Maloof people called and said they're definitely in.
Great. That's excellent.
So I think we're all good. And Nick, you guys are psyched about it?
Totally.
Good.
On all levels, even from my little lower level to Andrew on up. So.
Excellent. Well, I'm really glad.
No, it's great news.
Good work, guys. Have a good weekend. Let me know if there's anything else I can do, and you'll probably see me at some point next week.
This 3.4 was kind of my notion of the least amount to get 25 days to shoot. And thank goodness for the Maloofs, because we're at 3.5. So we think we have a fighting chance to make this film.
We are now 3 weeks away from shooting. We got our additional financing, meaning an extra week minimum more for the show, which gives us a chance of doing a professional movie. There's a lot to be done, but I think starting Monday, we're a real movie.
Talk to you later. Thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Are you kidding me? That's huge. It's big. It's really great.
Awesome.
I'm at the Lone Star stages, which is now our stage for Feast. And it's the first time I've walked on the Feast set, the bar. It's the first time I've walked on any set that was considered, my set. I walked in and I got just like goosebumps. It was really freaky. Just kind of, creeping around everybody, sawing and hammering and nailing, and it was pretty bitchin'. They tried to get rid of the ceiling yesterday.
I know, I heard. They're not getting rid of it.
They're not going to get rid of it.
Well, I immediately looked to John Gulager, who here he is, a director in his own right, coming of age and standing on something that he never stood on before, his set. And that was really great. He had a big smile on his face.
Cover that, we'll treat this so that you can be out here a little bit, right? Follow somebody in if you need to.
And this is where I think he's going to step up even more, be more confident, realize that all these people are coming around him to support his vision.
Uh-oh. We all have to salute.
How's it going?
Oh, great. First time I've been on my set ever.
John has a very strong sense of inner strength, that he's kind of figured out what his place in the world is and what he thinks about his art, and whether somebody else agrees with him or not, I don't think he cares. And Joe, you happy with the script? How the script is going?
Well, it's always changing.
Yeah.
And I think it's still changing.
Actually, next door, Wes Craven was shooting all these pickups, for his film. And so, he came over and said, hey, you want to come over and see the set? And we all tried it next door. It was kind of neat.
So we're setting up the shot for the climactic moment where they chop his head off with a shovel. So, yeah, let me see you push it down in.
They shoot over several months. We're shooting over several weeks. And I just don't see being able to take the time and the care that they were taking on Wes's set.
They have salmon. I wonder if we're going to have that. Are we going to have one of these? I doubt it.
We're back at 2 Hours in the Dark, which is Gary Tunnicliffe's company. We're going to see how he's progressed now on the monster creations.
We're getting rather into the panic zone. If you imagine, decorating a house for 12 people and then trying to get them all to sign off on the same thing, it becomes a thankless task. My biggest worry was Junior Beast. I wanted to find out if that was going to be the right size. John was kind of wanting it smaller.
I kind of maybe envisioned a little bit more of that childlike thing,
This is permanently a case of trying to get producers and directors to kind of go where I want them to go, I've been making creatures for 15, 20 years, and you tend to have a good idea of what works on camera. Because if it looks like a normal person, usually what happens is the audience goes, oh, it's a kid in a suit, Can we talk birth sacks?
Yeah.
Sure. But this would kind of be the first thing that drops out, and it would be steaming and kind of swelling a little bit. And then, it would go to that size, and then, insert sections of push and pull and tear and rip,
That looks good to me. How about you?
So, I want a size reference on this.
In the movie, there's this sex scene between Papa Beast and Mama Beast, so Gary took it upon himself to build this monster genitalia.
So, initial thoughts? I knew John would just go, whoa, good Lord, look at that. It's, wow.
And it's just like this sort of reject from Boogie Nights. It's this huge, giant monster package. I put on my thinking cap.
It was literally like, standing in a men's room with some guy going, look at this. Everyone was just like...
During prep, you're always worried about the final rating of your film. Seeing the giant, erect monster package basically would be an NC-17. So I don't think that's going to end up in our movie.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much.
As far as
as casting goes, we're supposed to start shooting 2 weeks from today. Dimension came down with their approvals today.
Do we put him back in
Katrina
his
likes
house?
Navi.
Does she? Good.
I'm probably having more influence than maybe I normally would on a movie.
So we got Bob to sound off on a few things.
Good.
Bob's cool with Henry Rollins.
Oh.
Good.
Okay.
All right. Krista Allen, Tuffy. Everybody here's like Navi's second reading. We like Navi for heroin.
I gotta show Mike and Joel that.
Okay.
You know, you haven't given me any good news yet.
By the way, that was Mike talking. That, for me, it's good news.
I know.
So you're ready to lock Navi?
Yes.
We'll look at her second reading then.
When Nick said that Navi was approved for heroin, I was pretty shocked. I had no idea that she was still on a list, quite honestly. These are the people we have to go out to now. There's no discussion.
In terms, let me tell you this. Henry and Navi are like people that we can go out to.
I mean, the heroin and the toughies aren't even on our list that we sent you
You
last
didn't even
night.
see Navi's second audition.
You know what? I've seen a lot of Navi.
We didn't even know that Michelle had submitted her to Dimension, and we hadn't even seen her second audition to say yay or nay, and John was absolutely clear that he did not want her in the part.
All right?
Yep.
Alrighty, man. Thanks.
When we got the final word, I felt like we were casting a movie that didn't appease the producer and didn't appease the director.
Are you gonna tell John any of this or no?
Of course. Right.
Let's look at Navi's second reading.
Well, I'd love it to be more.
I totally disagree with you. I'm gonna call Rona. I'm pissed.
I felt that maybe Michelle was gaming the system a little bit. It was clear that she wanted Navi in the role, and I think she might have gone through some back channels to get that done.
Stop.
You bitch.
You can risk your life, but not mine. My daughter is no more than 20 miles from here waiting for me. I have much reason to get out of this place as you do.
It's kind of flat. If she ramped it up 20% and put a little emotion into it and a little conviction, the question is, does she get there? What do you think?
She gets there with a good director.
This whole idea of now we've got Henry that's going to need someone to work with. Now we got Navi as a star of the movie needs someone to work with.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he hired to direct the film, not to just have people show up?
I'm not going to blame that's on him, but I'm frustrated right now.
Okay. So you want to talk to John?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Where is he?
If I know John, he's got his cup to the wall.
What's up, guys? Nick told me there might be some make offers today, so I thought, I thought it was going to be a fun day to come by, but from the look on what's going on here, I was in the neighborhood. I thought I'd come by, say hi, see how everybody was doing it. And when I walked in, Joel, Mike, Michelle, Don, John, had all obviously just heard some piece of news about casting.
So basically, Nick called and Bob weighed in. Henry Rollins is coach.
Okay.
They really loved Krista Allen as Tuffy.
Who is she?
Well, I mean, besides the fact that she was a Baywatch babe years and years ago, she has this George Clooney series coming out that's going to be big, and John thinks she's cheesy and was very much against it.
Well, what can I say? I kind of, wanted Diane to play that part,
Bob likes Navi for heroin.
I was pretty shocked. She wasn't even on our list that we sent to Dimension of possible heroines. Even Mike was kind of scratching his head about that one.
What about this Navi lady? I mean, that's the biggest surprise.
I'm a little perturbed just because I felt like, here we are, we list 8 people here that we want to make offers to, not one of them show up. So I feel like I've lost. Even though I don't think Navi's right to play heroin, the studio is really behind her, wants her in this movie, so she's going to be in the movie.
To me today?
A casting director, you hope, fights the fight for what they believe in. And I think Michelle did that. Unfortunately, I don't think she took into consideration the director's desires at the moment that she made a play to get Navi in this movie. And quite honestly, she didn't consider my desires at that moment in time either.
You made Navi happen. And that bothers me.
It said on the top line, like, we're still looking for these two people. And Heroin said TBD. I didn't even give him a name to respond to. And all of a sudden, out of the blue comes this name.
Maybe this is my fault for not communicating with you. I saw it coming. And I think that you guys felt a little backdoored about it.
Yes, I did.
I am friendly with certain actors. I try to separate my personal feelings from these actors, but if I believe in someone, yeah, I believe in them.
I never thought she was right for this movie. And John didn't think she was right for this movie. So that was the biggest shock of the day yesterday.
I know she can do it. And do I believe that she's gonna have a huge career? Yes.
And you've seen her do the role of Heroin.
It doesn't matter.
I want to know if you've seen it. It's different if you say she'll do it on the day, Mike, but did you see it? Because that's all I know of her is what I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen glimpses of it, yes.
Now she's in the movie,
and I don't see Heroin.
No, that as a casting director, I do report to the studio, so they have seen all my tapes and they have seen all my lists. I have to be proud of the cast because the names on this movie are going to be with my name, and people judge you on that as a casting director. I am confident it's going to be a fun movie. It's going to look good, and people are going to want to go see it. I'm happy with the cast. I feel like I got what I wanted. Okay, good. Besides me pushing, she totally earned it. So I'm so happy. Excited. I know she called me yesterday. She's so sweet, and I was like, and I don't think it came out wrong, but I'm like, Navi, I'm so excited, and I can't wait till you prove me right and everyone else wrong. Right. I know that the director and producer aren't thrilled, so I have some guilt about that, but in ways I feel like it's a personal victory. You're my friend, I'm not gonna lie. I pushed really hard for it, but it wasn't. You did. You know what? It wasn't because I, for a second, didn't believe in her. I'm really proud of Navi because I believed in her from day one, and I know that she'll be great for it, both acting-wise, marketing-wise, in every way.
All right, my dear.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, all right, bye.
Bye.
John, we need to discuss Hero.
Well, I called about someone, but
who'd you call about?
Cusack.
If you have an in.
Not really, just someone that worked with him.
Anything else?
Guess not. I'm just like stewing about everything that happened during the week, and somehow, somewhere inside, I knew that I wanted to say something. Just sort of steaming about the cast.
You're steaming about the cast?
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast, like going, John 1, Michelle 4.
In all honesty, it's so unfair.
I know. I just felt like you undermined me a bit. I read Navi twice. I thought in that respect, really tried. Right. I didn't think it worked. And your opinion is that you're better suited to pick the cast than I am.
That's not true.
And I feel that the casting director should be my voice to the company, not...
I not for 1 second misrepresented myself or you and how you felt about anybody. And from day one, I said, you're the director.
She's supposed to fight for my choices, from my point of view.
I'm entitled to my opinion, and at the end of the day...
But you shouldn't groan, then say you think someone else should have the part. You should put it out there and say, like, this is who John wants, and that's who it should be then.
If you want to believe that I was malicious, I'm really sorry for that. But I would have respected it and appreciated it more if you would have called me up and been like, I'm really upset, and I feel like you had something to do with it. Instead of like walking around with such, like a puss on your face today. I know it's your first time, and I know it's frustrating because it's different than probably you thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to deal with people's moods and attitudes and people walking around mad at me. How old are we? It's just ridiculous.
Everybody says, well, man, don't take it personal. But you know, the people that say don't take it personal are the people that are just trying to get you to just move along quietly.
I came to town to talk to these guys about, you know, the status of the script, just to get an overview of where we are with the movie.
I thought, you know, I should get together with everyone to talk about the script and, you know, go over some thoughts I had.
The top directorial issue on his list here is Honey Pie needs to be in underwear.
The whole time. Wait, that's serious? You're seriously suggesting Honey Pie walk around with her underwear on?
The idea is that Honey Pie gets blood on her and then she's disrobes.
Hey, I just can't believe you guys don't know girls that walk around in their underwear.
Honey Pie is in a bar with, you know, with a bunch of people around. It just seems weird that suddenly should be like...
John's an unknown to me. Sometimes I hear him talk about the movie. It sounds like he's shooting something totally different.
Okay, additional content. I need Harley Mom peeing in a stall in the bathroom, and she drops a gun onto the floor. And I can shoot it at lunch.
What does it serve to give Harley Mom a gun?
Girls with guns, you know.
It just seems completely superfluous and unnecessary.
Personally, I thought it was kind of neat. Those little things, you know, are just the things that you need in a film.
If he's going to go and shoot it at lunch, I'm all for it.
Keep going.
Okay.
We'll bring your lunch to the toilet stall.
We picked John as our director. We always knew he was the wild card, but he's also the guy we hope would make the movie better than, say, just your average cheap genre movie.
I want to add a freeze frame for Harley Mom. Scene 24. I need to bump up, you know, the scene at the jukebox. Scene 25, when just a line when bartender shoots Edgy Caddy should say shit. Scene 26 also, when Junior's in the dark corner, he should be kind of behind a TV. Honey Pie should be the one that points out, you know, to bartender about humping the... Scene 28. Scene 29 with scene 34. I kind of don't want heroin to get ripped in half.
Sometimes he says really weird things and he throws you, but you have to look past it. Some of his ideas are good and some of them are bad, and it's like, we're here to help him. I like John. I want him to succeed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Despite all the controversy surrounding the casting of our two female leads, the rest of our cast has really come together. We have in our starring role Balthazar Getty playing Bozo, Jason Mewes as Edgy Cat,
Henry Rollins is playing Coach. Josh Zuckerman is playing Hot Wheels. Judah Friedlander is playing Beer Guy.
Dwayne Whitaker as Boss Man, Jenny Wade as Honey Pie, along with our two leading women, Navi Rawat as Heroine and Krista Allen as Tuffy. John finally got his family into the movie after all.
Diane's going to be playing Harley Mama. It's pretty amazing. And Dad's going to be the bartender. His is like a major role, you know, he's all the way through the whole thing. It'll help me a lot, you know, that they're there. The minute the bar was up, you know, Dad said, look, I gotta go out there, I gotta make that bar mine.
Tell me if I get in your paint. I don't want to smear you. I'm just kind of, you know, working on it.
He's been out there all week, walking up and down the bar, making it his own, thinking about what he's going to do, what little actions he's going to do, or when he says something to an actor here, just becoming more comfortable.
Yeah, messing around here. This guy.
I think it's something that a lot of people can learn something from that. Well, I think my dad's really proud that, you know, I'm doing this.
Well, if a sawed-off can be bigger, you know.
Oh, sawed-off?
Yeah. You know, he said, I'll do anything, you know, to help you. And I asked him to play a part.
It may not quite work with this.
No, I want it.
This could be his, you know, his last film.
I'm just gonna have him looking at the glass.
John feels that I won't be here forever. He wants his old father to be in his first film, as he would have wanted his mother, had she been living, to be in the first film. And I can still say that line,
Yeah.
I want to help my son make a fine film. We need a laugh. We need to be scared. We need to hug our girl in the theater. It lightens the load of this crummy life.
Hey, your dad's here. I'm like, oh.
Wahlberg wants to do this, possibly, but he wants to talk to Ben Affleck.
Our most urgent issue right now is that we don't have anybody cast in the role of hero. That role shoots in the first week. If we don't get somebody soon, we're going to be shooting this thing with a sock puppet.
I don't know if we've ever considered really seriously pursuing him. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hey, Nick, you don't have a problem with that, right? Jean-Claude?
I'm not crazy about it.
Wahlberg's a better choice,
Of course,
admittedly.
Basically, we got to hire that actor, then find wardrobe to fit, and get a stuntman that matches his size, and we got nothing.
Van Damme, though, I don't know. I'm not sold on the idea.
All right, fair enough.
Hey, Mark Wahlberg busting through those doors would be pretty cool.
It'd be very cool.
Dimension finally improved the monster design, so we're going to Panavision. We're going to give the monster a screen test, and we're going to see what it looks like.
Right, go, yeah.
A little light.
Okay.
And got our leg. That's pretty cool. That's very cool.
I have to say, I felt a wave of relief. It just looked really good. You know, Gary did a good job. Action, Gary. Once I saw them in the studio, the overcoat, I think less fur is probably gonna happen.
Myself, I like kind of a little less fur.
We can strip some fur away, that's no problem. We can do more, add more stuff to it. My biggest fear is that they suddenly decide they love the undercreature and they, we should see more of it.
I think kind of the rotting, goopy stuff is what really works. Because that's like a rotting animal. Mm-hmm. This looks like a fur coat.
I think we need to split the difference a little, but that's just me.
The irony after all this is that everybody's like, well, we can't show the monster, we gotta hide the monsters. And so now, after it's all over, everybody's going, well, gee, I wish we could see the monster more. Okay, Gary, you did it.
Oh, it's gonna be a long shoot.
We're a week away from the start of filming. Our set's nearly complete, and our script is almost final. We're now in the process of moving our production offices over to the stage.
I've been up all night reading this thing going, what the hell's been happening?
We saw the new script and there had been changes that had been done that weren't done by ourselves. When you read the whole script all the way through, like Marcus did, he said, this is a mess. It doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place.
By pulling out some of these things, the ripple effect really gives you trouble with telling your story.
It was a good script to be, this is an incomprehensible, jumbled mess that's all over the place. Well, what happened was you have people making changes that seem like small changes, and they don't think about the cause and effect. So he needs these slow moments of everyone getting in the same room and saying, what do we got to do to solve this?
Let's bang our heads together and find the scene 74 that works.
Scene 74 is an ensemble moment where all the bar patrons gather around and sort of hypothesize about what these beasts are outside. With these changes, we didn't have that. It was a effing mess, and Marcus went ballistic.
I don't know. I had such an averse reaction to reading. Like as a horror fan, you lost me.
Like those are the scenes that get bored with, where they sit and talk about what it is. And frankly, that scene is in every movie like this, and so we kind of decided to cut it.
So what I want to do before this one is even signed off on is fix it. Because it hurts.
We had to go back and make these big changes to fix it so that scene actually works and addresses what John wants to do.
Logic, stat!
Hey, John.
So we're now all cast except for Hero, and we're at that very critical point when everybody's now going to come together, meet on the stage, and sit down for table read. They meet each other, they meet the director. It's an extremely important moment for the movie, and especially for John.
An officer comes and says, there's a suspicious-looking package, called the bomb squad, we're all gonna have to leave. So everybody's like, okay, we gotta go out, of course I'm thinking, they're pranking me. This is it, I'm waiting for something to happen.
Where's Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah.
The whole thing was a misunderstanding where Miramax said this could be a bomb, and they're referring potentially to the movie.
So I don't know how long we're going to stand out here. Hopefully, we'll get back in there, but we can't rig the lights. The actors are coming, and now to have this happen, it's a bummer.
How in a million years could our Friday night read-through with cast and crew end up standing in the parking lot with dogs sniffing boxes.
Nobody was able to get on our stages.
This bomb scare has dealt us a tremendous blow, no pun intended. I'm very concerned now because this was John's one and only chance to meet and rehearse with his cast, and it's gone.
We stood outside for 3 hours, and thankfully the bomb was just, I guess, a computer modem. Basically, the bomb scare derailed our table reading the night before we start shooting. So John will not have that time with our actors to talk about their characters, their dialogue, the action that happens in the film. It was really a mess.
Just calling to see what's going on, you know, check. Tomorrow's the first day of shooting. We still don't have the hero. So right now, Mark Wahlberg's reading it.
No positive word on Wahlberg. He's likely a shot at this point. We're trying to get a hold of Wes Craven and or Ben to place a call directly to him.
In the end, it's going to be me running in through the door.
Hero is the guy that walks in the door and basically leads the bar patrons against these monsters. So it is a little nerve-wracking to not have someone to play that role.
And I think he looked at the script and, you know, he gets it. As far as is he going to do it, that's another story.
We're hoping that somebody steps up to the table that will fulfill those shoes and be our hero.
All right, well, I guess we'll play that on Monday morning. It's going to be a crazy Zoom morning, but I'm looking forward to it. You feel ready?
Pardon me?
Do you feel ready?
What do you want to hear? Yeah, no, it is.
It's almost like it's just so overwhelming that, you know, you stop being nervous, at least for now.
So, two things I want to talk to you about before you leave. Number one, please get some sleep.
Working on the film, I think it's going to be the cure for being nervous about it. So it seems like it's actually been a really long time since the contest. I mean, a whole lot of stuff has gone on, a lot of great things, a few slaps in the face, and now here I am, you know, on the set, and it's pretty exciting. It's actually taken a long time for this to really actually sink in.
Let's go, gang.
John has no idea what he's getting into still. I think we've done everything possible to support a vision, and it's John's vision of the movie Feast. And I don't think John has any idea what the next 5 weeks entails. Will we survive even the first week? I don't know.
I know there's a million things wrong, probably, but let's go home.
You can't leave, huh?
Well, you know, I don't know.
In a movie like this that is so logistically complicated, so many things can go wrong that this movie can end up being a disaster. So my fear is that with a short schedule, a first-time director, and an incredibly complicated movie with a huge ensemble cast, we could have meltdowns on a lot of different fronts.
You try to make as good a movie as you can, and you know, whatever you're doing, I mean, don't you try to make everything as good as you can, and you just hope that someone else thinks it's good too.
Next week on Project Greenlight.
70 people show up at a stage in Silmar with all eyes turned to John Gulager. It's going to be an interesting 5 weeks.
We got to figure out the shots before we start moving all this stuff, because now this is not going to work.
These guys are not connecting. Everybody in the room could sense it.
Just got to let me know, because now it changes everything what we're doing.
John is shooting in such a way that we don't even know what shots we're missing because it's so untraditional.
This is really pathetic.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like this. The creepiest thing about it is that it's, you know, it's cut, moving on, and then
nobody knows what we're moving on.
Sure.
We've got to get control of this. Look, and there's actors sitting around with nothing to do.
You know, Jason,
we basically wasted $5,000.
You're doing good, John.
I just fell into a funk.
Nobody wants you to shut down.
I feel like a failure.